I would like to greet Assalamu alaikum. Over here, a very important announcement is there for the students who have been taught the computer programming course by me in the civil engineering department of the University of Lahore during winter 2021 semester. And the announcement is that your final term exam of computer programming has been scheduled on 31st of May 2021, and your online exam will begin at 10 a.m. and your final exam will end at 12 p.m. It means the duration of your final exam is 2 hours. For all of my students, before attempting your final exam, you need to have some instructions by your instructor. And your instructor is whom, my dear? I am Assistant Professor Muhammad Shahzad. I will instruct you how will you attempt your final exam. My dear students, in order to attempt the part 1 of the final exam, you need to do what, my dear? You need to mark your attendance first of all. And for marking your attendance, you need to do what, my dear? You need to go to the slate at 9:50 a.m. on 31st of May 2021, and you have to click onto the Zoom link that is available at the bottom, just like the way a Zoom link is available. You can watch over here right now, over which the mouse pointer is moving over there. Once you will have clicked onto the Zoom meeting, you will be there with me in the Zoom meeting. And I will tell you over there during the Zoom meeting to write your name along with your registration number in the chat box. In this way, your attendance will be marked during the Zoom meeting. After marking your attendance, my dear, you need to attempt the part 1 of the final exam. And for attempting the part 1 of the final exam, I will tell you to go to the slate, my dear, right at 9:55 a.m. in the morning on 31st of May 2021. And I will tell you to attempt the part 1 of the final exam at sharp 10 a.m. And now I will tell you how you will attempt your part 1 of the final exam. In order to attempt the part 1 of the final exam, my dear, you need to do what, my dear? You need to go to the last week in the calendar over there at the bottom. Over there, you will find 3 quiz links, and you have to do what, my dear? You have to click onto the very first link, that is Final Term Winter 21 Part 1. In this way, you will attempt your final exam by clicking onto the quiz link number 1. And your part 1 of the final exam will begin at 10 a.m. and it will end at 10:30 a.m. In the part 1 of your final exam, my dear, you will be asked the questions from the CLO1. My dear students, in order to attempt the part 2 of the final exam, you need to do what, my dear? You need to mark your attendance before attempting the part 2 of the final exam. In order to mark your attendance for attempting the part 2 of the final exam, my dear, I will tell you to go to the slate right at 10:31 a.m. on 31st of May 2021. From the slate over there, I will tell you to once again click on to the Zoom link that is available in the last week onto the calendar, just like the way the Zoom link is over here before you. You need to click onto the Zoom link. When you will click onto the Zoom meeting link, my dear, you will be there with me in the Zoom meeting. I will tell you during the Zoom meeting over there to write your name and your registration number in the chat box. In this way, your attendance will be marked during the Zoom meeting. And after marking your attendance for the part 2 of the final exam, my dear, I will tell you once again to go to the slate right at 10:35 a.m. in the morning to attempt the part 2 of the final exam that will begin at 10:40 a.m. in the morning. Now I will tell you how you will attempt your part 2 of the final exam. In order to attempt the part 2 of the final exam, you need to do what, my dear? You need to go to the slate over there and you will have to scroll down to the last week in the calendar. At the bottom, there you will see 3 quiz links are there. And you will have to do what, my dear? You have to click on to the second quiz link over there. The link is Final Term Winter 21 Part 2. By clicking on the Part 2 link of the quiz, you will go on attempting the Part 2 of the final exam. It is notable, my dear, your Part 2 of the final exam will begin at 10:40 a.m. and it will end at 11:10 a.m. My dear students, over here, right now, I tell you how you will attempt your Part 3 of the final exam. In order to attempt your Part 3 of the final exam, you need to do what, my dear? You need to mark your attendance before attempting the Part 3 of the final exam. In order to mark your attendance before attempting the Part 3 of your final exam, you need to do what, my dear? You need to go to the slate at 11:11 a.m. in the morning on 31st of May 2021. From the slate over there, you need to click onto the Zoom link. That one is available at the bottom in the last week in the calendar. Just like the way a link is over here in the last week at the bottom, my dear, you need to click the Zoom meeting link over there. When you will click the Zoom meeting, my dear, you will be right over there with me in the Zoom meeting. Over there, during the Zoom meeting, I will tell you to write your name, your registration number in the chat box. In this way, your attendance will be marked. After marking your attendance, my dear, and for attempting the final exam Part 3, I will tell you to go to the slate right at 11:15 a.m. my dear. And from the slate over there, you people have to attempt the final term Part 3 exam. Now I will tell you how will you attempt your final exam Part 3. My dear, in order to attempt your final exam Part 3, my dear, You need to go to the slate, my dear, and you have to scroll down to the last week, my dear. At the bottom you will see 3 quiz links will be there, and you have to do what, my dear? You have to click on to the last quiz link that is named as Final Term Winter 21 Part 3. By clicking this Part 3 quiz link, you will attempt your Part 3 of the final exam. And it is notable, my dear, your Part 3 of the final exam will begin at 11:20 a.m. and it will end at 12 p.m. In the Part 3 of the final exam, you will be asked the questions from the CLO 3. Okay, with this, I do tell you, stay blessed with the good health. Allah Hafiz. Bye-bye.